All right, let's begin. We're going to talk about desolate places tonight, and the truths they keep. We're journeying into a kind of gothic wasteland of the soul, a place where specters ride the winter wind, and masks, well, masks tell no lies. Our story begins out there, in the dunes.
So picture a landscape that's been stripped completely bare. There are no comforting structures, no easy ways out. This is the stage for our story. It's a place where forgiveness isn't some gift you just receive. No, it's a verdict you have to earn from yourself. There are absolutely no shortcuts here. There are only consequences.
And in this wasteland, there's a figure walking. We're just going to call him the Wanderer. But you have to understand, this isn't really about sand and wind. The real desolation, the real wasteland, it's internal. This is a soul that's caught in its own trap, the dross of vanity. That's all the worthless junk left over from ego and pride. And the terminal sickness? That's a deep, unshakable regret that you just can't cure. The Wanderer is basically living in the ruins of their own choices, in a self-made prison of denial.
Okay, so here's where it gets really interesting. This idea of an ontological error. This isn't just about making a mistake in your life, it's the horrifying realization that your very being is the mistake, that you're fundamentally built on a lie. And the jester, this blight of revelation, he's making a bet. He's wagering that if you're forced to stare that error right in the face, you'll break. You'll beg for the sweet relief of just nothingness, the abyss. But something is about to arrive, and it's not coming to save the Wanderer. Oh no, it's coming to force a reckoning. A guest is on their way to this lonely little party of one.
You know, we usually think of masks as something to hide behind, right? Tools of deception. But not this one. This mask is the complete opposite. It's not a villain, it's not some intruder, it's the guest of honor. Its entire purpose isn't to conceal a thing, it's to shatter all concealment. It is, quite literally, a mirror of truth.
This mask reflects the one thing the Wanderer cannot possibly bear to see: reality. It is the personification of every single truth they have been running from. The dishonest dance is over. The mirror has arrived.
So, just as this internal confrontation is hitting its absolute peak, the world outside responds. The sky itself literally fractures, and judgment comes pouring down.
So, the Wild Hunt. This is a powerful, ancient myth you can find all across Europe. It's a storm of souls, a physical manifestation of chaos and divine wrath. But it's way more than just a ghost story. For ancient societies, it served as this cultural mirror for all their deepest anxieties about sin, death, and the terrifying, unpredictable power of the natural world.
And who, you might ask, rides in this hunt? The dishonored, the restless spirits. Traitors to themselves and to others. It's this ghostly army thundering across the night sky, a cosmic chase for souls that have absolutely nowhere left to hide.
Of course, every hunt needs a huntsman, and the leader of this one is maybe the most terrifying figure of all, because he is both an external force and an internal truth.
I want you to meet the Red Specter. He's not just some random demon from a storybook. He is the formidable superego. What does that mean? Well, in psychological terms, he is the living embodiment of the Wanderer's own crushing guilt. He's their internal judge, now given terrifying form and fury. He is the voice that has always whispered every failure, every regret, and now it is screaming from the heavens.
The Specter doesn't ride alone, of course. He brings with him the dishonored dead, a pretty clear reflection of what the Wanderer could become. And with him there are these watchful ravens. Now, the ravens aren't judges, they are witnesses. They're the silent, impartial observers who have seen the Wanderer's truth all along. They already know.
So here we are. The wasteland is within, the hunt is without. The Wanderer is completely cornered by their own truth. And a choice has to be made.
And here, the two options become crystal clear. On one hand, you have the Abbey's path. This is the path of escape. It's looking for a midwife to be delivered from the pain of existing, to just vanish into the total absence of the self. It's that plea for the abyss we talked about. But the Wanderer's path? Well, that's something else entirely. It is to stand firm, to reject silence, and to choose something called radical responsibility.
This is the real question the Red Specter's challenge is asking. When you are confronted with the absolute, crushing totality of your failures, your regrets,
your ontological error. What is left? Seriously, where do you find the will to go on?
The answer is just two words: amor fati. It's a Latin phrase championed by the philosopher Nietzsche, and it means the love of one's fate.
Now, to love your fate doesn't mean you have to be happy about it. Not at all. It means you accept it, fully, without reservation. The good, the bad, the beautiful, the absolutely horrific. The wanderer chooses to reject that call of the abyss, and instead they choose to affirm their life, their singular, flawed, painful existence, and make it a defiant flash of lightning against an infinite, swallowing dark.
And that, right there, is the terrifying and also empowering moral of this whole story. There is no one coming to save you. There is no architecture of convenience to grant you absolution. There is only the wasteland, the hunt, and the choice to take total, complete ownership of the person you are and the life you have lived.
So I'm just going to leave you with this. In the quiet of this moment, really think about it. If that uninvited, honest guest showed up at your door, wearing that mirror for a face, what's the no? The no that you've been so desperately trying to deny that you would finally be forced to see.